Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope all of you guys had a great start in 2K20 so far, and well, for me it was really nice, even though I was busy with doing the giveaway, or like the winners for the giveaway, and we had a lot of stuff happening today. So first off, obviously the gold pass finished, which means a new gold pass came out, and well, I guess the skin for this gold pass is one of the most discussed or most, I don't know, love-hated at the same time. I saw a lot of players saying this skin is kind of nice, and on the other hand I saw so many players as well who said like this skin is by far the worst which is in the game. So it's super fun to see like the difference in that, and that people cannot really decide what is happening, what is going on. I don't know, I like that it's a new one, that's a different one. I still hope that there's at some point the feature that you can buy skins in the shop. So which means if you do not want to buy the gold pass, or like there should be different skins in the shop or something like that. Either way, if you guys are spending money for the gold pass or for any of the offers which are right now in the shop, make sure to use the credit code ITSU. It would support me a lot. It would be awesome to help me and my channel out. And yeah, that was the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about is, well, we already matched in the, in the Clan War League. So it would be awesome, since I have no clue what, like, I don't know any of those clans. Let me know if you guys know any of those clans. Maybe there's a really good other clan in there. That would be awesome to have like a nice battle. Yeah, let me know in the comments whether you know any of those clans. First season for us as Tribe Gaming over here. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. We have a lot of crazy good players in here. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, I think that was the second thing for us today. We do not want to talk too much about my Legend Day yesterday. I failed horribly in the middle of the part. Like, the middle part, I don't know, I did super bad. Only 260, which wasn't the best day for me. But luckily, I got only attacked 7 times. Like I said in the beginning already, that the start of the season is super luck dependent. If you're not getting attacked a lot, or if people try to drop out. So for example, my first Legend Day, there was a guy who tried to drop out of Legend League. So that's obviously already free defense. And yeah, stuff like this. After the first couple of days, you're getting like slowly into the normal trophy ranges where people are attacking, and yeah, those guys are attacking really well, sadly. So let's see how we can do today. I will stream obviously my attacks, but this was the third thing, and now we get deeper into the video because we want to show, or want to take a look at a attack versus a completely maxed out base with Queen Charge Miners. I think Queen Charge Miners are right now super strong. At the same time, they're pretty easy to use compared to other strategies. For example, like compared to, I don't know, like Queen Charge Lado or stuff like that. So we want to take a look at this attack. And like I said, this base is completely maxed. Cannons, the X-bows, I don't know, Inferno Towers, Scatter Shots, Wizard Towers, everything. Even the heroes, all of this is maxed out. So we attack this with Queen Charge Miners. And I want to show you guys 2 different ways on how to do Queen Charge Miners. Both of the times against completely maxed out bases. So this is the first replay, and we're using a ram to support the Queen Charge. You can do multiple stuff with your siege machines, because there's always like a pretty good synergy in between. And one thing as well, there are a couple of different opinions and setups, I would say, on how to use the Royal Champion with Queen Charge Miners. So we will talk about all of this today in the video. So let's get started for this one. For this base, obviously, Queen Charge Miners, or like miners in general, is always depending on pathing. So for our purpose, like for this attack, we try to charge into this compartment, which gives us access to all of those buildings over here. We can reach even the Townhall in the end with our jump spell. So we will take all of this out, and then we can use the king on this part of the base, and he will take out all of this, which means this is the rest of our of the enemy base, which needs to get taken out by our miners. In addition to that, we can use on the right side as well the Royal Champion, which means this is taken out as well, which makes the pathing for our miners even better. So let's see how this works as soon as we skipped basically the beginning of the Queen Charge, so we can get over and take a look at the Queen Charge as soon as it's getting a bit more interesting. The sweepers help me out over here a lot, because this means the healers are switching back to my queen, and the P.E.K.K.A. is finally dying. The next rage is getting used, and then I'm using the king. The king is tanking, luckily, the scatter shot, that's nice, and now the miners are coming in. Next rage on my queen, just to make sure that she's surviving in a second, and then we need to keep her just keep her alive with adding more and more rages. Meanwhile, we have our miners coming in, we have our royal champ coming in at the bottom to take, to put all of the miners back on track into the core. We have the enemy scatter shot shooting at our miners, and the nice thing about the miners, like I said, is that they're dipping under the scatter shots, which is super, super effective. And this is a power, this is a reason why they feel sometimes a little bit stronger than the Hawk Riders at the moment. And yeah, like I said, I like to have the Royal Champion on the flank of the miners and not behind the miners, because I feel like that's most of the time basically wasted, because there's, if you created a good pathing for your miners, those buildings are getting one shot anyway. Take a look at this elixir collector, one shot. Let's take a look at the barracks, one shot. Let's take a look at the gold storage, one shot. It does not really mean anything to have the Royal Champion behind of your miners. You should always try to work for pathing with your Royal Champion, or try to take out certain buildings or defenses to get more value. That's at least my opinion. I guess there are a lot of different opinions out there, but that's how I feel about the synergy in between of miners and the Royal Champion. The synergy in between of Hawk Riders and the Royal Champion is way better. You should combine those two always, always combine those. The next attack is on the number 1, even though both bases were fully maxed, so that's no difference. But this guy, the longsword, is attacking with queen charge miners as well. So let's see how he is doing on this one, and let's see why he's using the siege barracks, because I didn't cover this too much. I showed yesterday a queen charge miner with the siege barracks as well, but I didn't really explain too much why you should use this synergy and what exactly does this synergy mean to you and why you should use it. So the reason for this is that most of the time you need to somehow funnel your queen charge, or you need to funnel somehow your queen into the base or where you want her to go. Which means most of the time it's kind of easy to use the ram, because the ram is tanking, and this means you can use in behind wizards and stuff like this. But with having only wall breakers, it's sometimes a bit tricky. Longsword did it perfectly, funneling everything inside, and this means that he has a siege machine to swag basically. And then I see really often that people are using the slammer just to get a couple of defense out of the way, and then I don't know, there are more Hawk Riders in there or stuff like this, which is on town 13 or even lower town levels now with the new siege machine, pretty wasted in my opinion, because now you have a siege barracks which is funneling already in the beginning, and then you can use your king later, which means the king is taking out way more of the base. So let's see how he's doing it exactly. He started off already with the archer, which is funneling the P.E.K.K.A., so it was perfect planning on that, and now he's sending in the miners. What he's doing as well, he's sending in behind the miners the Royal Champion. The reason, I will pause at this point, the reason why I don't like it is take a look at how fast the buildings are dropping. So, for example, the mortar, one shot. Let's take a look at the Inferno Tower, one shot. Let's take a look at the next building, once again, one shot. So, in my opinion, there's no reason to add the Royal Champion to the miners. That's one part, but we want to take a look at the king and the new siege machine, because that was perfect. He delayed the king, so the king could get further into the further, and now the king and the P.E.K.K.A. are combined to take out most of the trash buildings at the bottom. And now, pretty nicely delayed, there are Hawk Riders in the enemy, or in your own siege barracks, which means those Hawk Riders will help for the back end to get the defenses out of the way. Because kind of often with miners you're running into the problem that there are a lot of storages on the back end of a base, and in between of those storages the defenses will be placed, or will be located. So for example, he has, once again, between this wizard tower and this Tesla, there's a storage in between. With having the Hawk Riders for the back end, for as soon as the miners did most of the work, you have the Hawk Riders coming in, and they are not only going for the elixir storage, but they're only going for the defenses, which means it's really nice as a synergy, and you have them delayed, which means they're not getting killed immediately into the attack. So this combination, this synergy, with Queen Charge Minus and the Siege Barracks is awesome, and Salongsport did show that perfectly. So, another thing is that if you guys would like to see more attacks of the new Tribe Gaming team, so for example of Lexnos, he is doing YouTube as well, which means you can check it out for sure. I will link his channel down below in the description as well. And obviously, I mean, Carbonfin, you guys should know him. He's in the clan as well. And if you guys would like he's doing crazy Hawk Rider attacks, like with only one heal, with bats, with earthquakes. He's doing crazy things. So if you guys would like to watch him as well, his link will be down below in the description as well. So, but for now, we want to take a look at one more attack. The attack of Eve Check on, I think, number 15, right? Yeah, on number 15. So, this was a Queen Charge Lalo, but most of the time you see Queen Charge Lalos with Warbreakers, because the synergy, once again, I'm talking always about synergies in this video, but those are really important in Clash of Clans. So, the synergy in between of an air strategy, like dragons, electro dragons, Lalo for example, the synergy in between of the Slammer and air strategies is super strong. So you normally always try to use the Slammer in combination of air attacks. This is the reason why Queen Charge Lalo is so strong, and it was the number 1 strategy on Townhall 12, and it's still one of the best strategies for Townhall 13, even though it got way harder. But with having the synergy of air, it makes the Slammer even more powerful. And with using the Ram, it's not that common, because like I said, you're taking away one of the strongest synergies in Queen Charge Lalo. But with going into this compartment, he has so much damage against him. Like the sweepers would push his healers away, the queen is coming out, the enemy clan caster is coming out. So a lot of stuff at the same time is happening, and this would completely cost him the attack. So this is the reason why he opted into the Ram and decided to do the charge with the Ram instead of having the Slammer for the back end. And you guys can see how much he's taking out. Like, he's used the jump, which means he now took out already 1 Expo, second Expo to go in a second, 2 scatter shots, the enemy queen, the enemy royal champion, second Expo is gone, third Expo is going to be down in a second as well. The second Inferno Tower is going to be killed in a second. So he got so much value with his Queen Charge that it's just crazy easy for him to obviously like get rid of this of the rest of the base with Lalo. The reason why he decided to go with Lalo is those Hawk Rider attacks are most of the time a little bit risky, especially when you're going into the Town Hall. You could run into a lot of ground skeletons, you could run into a lot of spring traps, and for example with Lalo that's not possible. I already told you guys on Town 12 that Lalo, if you can decide if you're going with Hawks or Lalo, Lalo is most of the time stronger because you cannot counter it that easily with traps. On the other hand, there's like no counterable trap with being able to place spring traps against Hawk Riders, because you cannot work around that. If you're running into spring traps with your Hawk Riders, they will die. That's it. But if you can angle your hounds correctly and soak up the red bombs like Evecheck did, then you do not care about any traps with Lalo. So that's the reason why he decided to go with Lalo, even though he used the Ram for the Queen Charge, and he completely wrecks the base. Even a Hound is still alive. So crazy nice job by Evecheck. And yeah, that was our first war in WHF/Tribe Gaming. I'm super excited for the Clan War League. And yeah, like I said, if you guys know any of those clans, I will show them again. If you know any of those clans, let me know. Would be super awesome if we are facing like a Asian well-known clan or something like that. That would be super cool. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope I see you guys back tomorrow for another one. And well, see you guys, and until then.